Hello class. In this video, I would like just to explain very quickly how I determine the weight of the amount of points that you're gonna see in your Blackboard grades for each one of the Master Environmental Science assignments. If you look at your syllabus, we have 250 points maximum from those activities that are coming from the Master Environmental Science. The course is split in 5 modules. So that means that for every module, we're going to have 50 points from activities that are coming from Pearson. Okay? Every module is going to be 50 points, and because we have 5, that is going to make a total of 250 points as maximum. Now, how can I determine for every module what is the amount of points or the score that you're going to have in Blackboard? Let me give you an example. Let me move here. Let me go with module number 1. As you know, module number 1 comprises 3 chapters. Chapter number 1, chapter 13, and chapter 14. Between these 3 chapters, we have 11 assignments from Mastering Environmental Science, which are all these assignments here for chapter number 1, chapter 13, and chapter 14. We have 11 assignments between chapter activities, lab activities, quizzes, and dynamic studies. So what I'm doing is I take the 50 points that is for each module, and I divide that 50 points by the maximum number of assignments from Mastering Environmental Science that we have for that particular module. So in module number 1, we have 50 points divided by 11. That is going to give you 4.55. So if you go to Blackboard, for each one of the Mastering Environmental Science assignment from module 1 that comprise chapter 1, chapter 13, and chapter 14, you will identify those each one of them in your Blackboard. The maximum amount of points that you can achieve are going to be equals to 4.55 points. That is going to be the maximum score per each one of the assignments in the module number 1 regarding Mastering Environmental Science. Okay, so if you multiply all those 4.55 times 11, that is going to give you 50 points. It's going to be a little bit more, but that is going to be a benefit for you guys. So, how can I determine how can I transfer or how can I convert the points for each particular assignment according with the scale that we have in Mastering Environmental Science into the, for instance, 4.55 points for each one of them that you're going to see in Blackboard. Let me open just one. Let me open, for instance, this one. Chapter lab activity. Okay? So, chapter lab activity is going to have, let me just put it in here. Edit assignment. Okay, let me just to continue in here to display everything. Yes, I'm going to continue a little bit more. Okay, so for instance, in chapter for the lab activity of chapter 13, the total amount of points that you're going to have for this particular activity is going to be 100 points. How do you transfer that score into the 4.55. Well, you need to make the proportion. What you need to do is to take the actual score that you get for this assignment, you divide that by 100, and then you multiply that by 4.55. And that is the number that you're going to see in Blackboard for that particular assignment. Okay? When that is for module number 1. For instance, module number 2 have 2 chapters, have chapter 15 and chapter 16. Okay, if I'm going, let me go back to assignments. If I go into the assignments for these 2 chapters, 15 to 16, we're gonna have in there 7 assignments. Those are the ones that you see here: chapter activity, lab activity, quiz, the dynamic study, and then chapter activity, lab activity, and quiz for chapter 16. One for chapter 15 and one for chapter 16. So that is gonna make in total 7 assignments from Mastering Environmental Science. So what is gonna be the weight for each one of them? It's gonna be 50 points divided by 7. What you're gonna see in Blackboard? 7.15. Okay? So that's the way that I determine. So let me open just one activity. For instance, I don't know, the lab activity for chapter 15. The lab activity for chapter 15, let me go in there, edit assignment, and let me go here. Okay, for that one, oops, I'm sorry guys. You're gonna have 60 points. So your scale in Mastering Environmental Science for that particular activity is gonna be 60 points. So I need to convert that into the 7.15 points that I'm giving in Blackboard. How can I do that? Well, your actual score for that particular assignment is going to be divided by 60. We're going to make the ratio, that is going to be the proportion, and then the result of that proportion will be multiplied by the 7.15 points that I'm giving to that particular assignment. So that's the way I compute the scores for Blackboard. Okay, so I just want to make this video to explain in detail how I transfer this score from Mastering Environmental Science into the Blackboard. Okay, so what you saw yesterday, because I updated yesterday the Blackboard scores, was for module number 1 and for chapter 15, because chapter 16 is running this week. Okay, so whenever we finish chapter module number 2, you will see now the update for module number 2 and so on. Okay, that's the way we are computing, or we are updating the grades in Blackboard. For the rest of the activities, the scores, for instance, for the test, all the scores are going to be based on 100 points, because every test is going to be 100 points. You're going to have 4 of them, and at the end, I think that you will have 400 points for the sectional test. That is correct. The 4 lecture tests for 100 points. Every test in Mastering Environmental Science is over 100, so that is going to be transferred in an automatic way to Blackboard. And the other ones are the discussion, well, that is over 10 points and so on. Okay, if you have any doubt, please let me know, send me an email if you believe that there are some omission or something wrong in the way I compute, or I'm sorry, in the number that I put it in Blackboard because I make a mistake or something like that. Just let me know and I will double check. Just send me an email. When I say that review that, is just try to review that the number that you're gonna see in Blackboard correspond and is consistent with what I explained in this video. Okay, if not, let me know, give me the name of the activity, and I will double check, and if there is an error, of course, that I will be more than glad to make the corresponding correction. Thank you.